This week, we're going to be doing a lot of activities around communication in your internship. We've all had to learn to listen when we take our skills classes so that we know how to work with clients. However, sometimes it's not a bad idea to go back and just think about how well we listen to our clients. So I want to talk a little bit today about active listening. This activity or recording is adapted from some things written by Skip Downing. If you took any of our foundational studies classes, you probably have heard of Skip Downing. So I've adapted that a little bit for what kinds of things we're working on this week. So the importance of active listening is we need to show the client that we're really tuned into them, that we really want to hear them, that we want to know what they mean. And sometimes that tells us that we must look more than just at the words, but also the nonverbal messages that we're getting. People in the helping professions know how important listening is, but sometimes we forget. It's very easy for some people to listen to their clients very, very well, but not necessarily to their coworkers or to their own family. So reminders about active listening can be very helpful. Active listening is often known as reflective listening because it lets the speaker, also known as the client in this case, know that you are tuned into what they're trying to convey. So let's talk about what makes someone a good listener. We probably all have had friends that we feel really, really hear us. At the same time, we know we have friends that are really sort of texting or involved in other activities while they're listening to us. So really, to be a good listener, the listener must accept 100% responsibility for receiving the speaker's message. So notice the responsibility is not on the speaker if we're following this model. Using our empathy skills also shows that the listener understands what the other person is truly feeling. So think of some of your skills when we're talking to a client and really letting them know, oh my goodness, how sorry that we are to hear that they're struggling so much. So you can see a quote from Downing here. With active listening, you send the message that you value someone so much that you're trying to really see the world through their eyes. Another description of active listening, I'm not going to read the quote to you, but really think about what we lose in our society when people don't listen. In some ways, you can look at it as almost a costly omission of what we need to be doing. We all know that we've had to tell people that they've had different issues, that we just missed their message and we're really sorry. So when we talk about the steps, we need to, step one, listen to understand. What that means is we're not listening to figure out what we're going to say next. That's really tempting when you're early on in your work with clients because we know we need to be saying the right things back to our clients. However, first thing we need to do is really listen to understand what they're trying to tell us and be totally focused on the speaker. The next step is to clear your mind and remain silent. So not have a television show on, not have music in the background that you're listening to, and also to stay quiet while the person tries to express their thoughts. Really be focused on their message. Watch for what they're not saying. Sometimes what they're not saying is important as to what they are saying. And give some sorts of verbal feedback. In other words, nod to them to show that you're engaged. Or, wow, I see, thank you so much. Something like that doesn't interrupt their train of thought. The next step is ask the person to expand or clarify. Don't assume that you know for sure what they've told you. Don't complete the speaker's sentences. So in other words, if somebody hesitates while they're trying to fill in a word, don't jump in to fill the word in for them. That can be very frustrating to the speaker or the client and also get them off track of what they're trying to say. And then ask them to share additional information. Just simple things like, tell me more about that. Or please explain, I'm not sure I understand. Or if they're telling a story, well, what happened next? And then this fourth step is reflect the other person's thoughts and feelings. Tell them what you heard, not using their words over again, but using your own words to show that you really understood them. Your reflection should not add any new information, including sharing your own experiences about what you might have gone through as well. And don't offer advice when you're reflecting. This is just your way to let the person know what you believe you heard And then it gives them a chance to let you know whether you're right or you're wrong. Final thoughts. If we really think about this, I think this is a good reminder for all of us. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply.